Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and it's time for some more Planescape Torment. Now, I know I've been talking about starting playing House of Hell recently, and I will do that soon, but I do need to record this next episode first before I forget. Inventory overflow. I was given the negative token, which means that the receiving room logbook got dumped on the floor to make room for it. Well, I don't want to lose that, so I'm going to give one of these bronze rings to Mort to have and to hold from this day forth. No, we're not getting married, I'm just giving him a ring, you know. For all of his lack of fingers. Maybe he'll wear it like a tooth cap, just like slide it over one of those teeth. I'll probably have to help him fit it in. But yeah, so importantly, I didn't want to lose that item, and I didn't lose this item. So this negative token that I was given by Kandrian Ilborn, is it? Let's have a look. This is a negative token. A flat black disc that appears to have no substance to it at all. Turning it over reveals that it has no third dimension. There is no thickness to the item. Sorry, there's no thickness to the item at all, despite the fact that there's an obvious thickness to this large poker chip. It gives you some command over creatures of shadow. You can command them to stay still for a few precious seconds. The more power the shadow has, the less likely it will obey your command. As an added benefit, as long as this token is carried by any of your party members, it acts as a ward against shadows. It will not prevent shadows from attacking your group, but the shadows will find it more difficult to harm you while the token is carried. So it's special, ward against shadows, special holds shadow creatures temporarily. So that's literally, while that's a beautiful description, there's virtually no mechanical description. Could be hold spell, as in hold monster against shadows, and they'd get a save against it. Ward, I don't think was a spell in second edition. It was guards and wards, which was a spell in first and second edition. But that was for like a whole area. And I should quickly, while the music's paused, do a recording check because it's late at night. Okay. All right. Now, I want to go talk to this man here, and I said last time nothing was going to stop me. Hello, Dak'kon. The man before you is old. His dry, yellowy skin has the scars of one who has travelled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. Greetings. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. I do like this character. Honestly, after Mort, he's probably my second favourite companion character in the game. Dak'kon, his voice doesn't sound anywhere near as old as his description would suggest. Are you alright?
Hail, traveller.
He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes. Hail, traveller. His voice is quiet and sombre, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail!
Your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
The man meets your gaze, his eyes burrowing into yours. His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering. resuming its shimmering you noticed before you spoke to him. Well, you could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as Dak'kon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not... You are not known to me. I'm trying to get those 3 ellipses in there. That should be a 3-second pause, and it's pretty tricky. I do not know myself. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his coal black eyes. I would know why you have come to this city. I'm looking for answers. I have many questions. Speak your questions. I will hear you. So, I said I like Dak'kon a lot. He is a mystery, and he's philosophical, right? He likes to think things through and think about the reasons why things might be the way they are. He tries to understand things. He tries to know everything about a thing. And that makes him an interesting character. He's also fairly sober or somber. He doesn't joke very often. And it's nice to delve into the mystery that is Dak'kon and get to know him better. However, after a certain point, there comes a feeling that, oh, was that all? There wasn't any more? Isn't there more for me to find out about you? And it almost sort of cheapens the experience of feeling like maybe I rushed this. But still, he is an intriguing character. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? A Gifsarai. I don't know what a Gifsarai is. A Gifsarai is one of the people. And what do you mean by one of the people? A Gifsarai. Yes, but what are the Gifsarai exactly? Dak'kon is silent for a moment, then speaks. Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people. I don't need to know your histories, but I would know of your people as they are now. Dak'kon is silent for a moment. Know this and accept it as an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting plane of limbo. With a deft motion, Dak'kon slips the blade from his back and holds it before you. Let's wait and see what he does with it. There we mold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts. As you watch, a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections of Dak'kon's voice. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Gifsarai. What is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice. It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. Karak, what does that mean? Dak'kon falls silent for a moment, as if searching for the correct words. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts. Shape it with their thoughts? Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and in its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak. And what rank does this blade signify? The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerf. The Zerf is one who knows the words of Zerfimon. In knowing the words of Zerfimon, they know themselves. And who is Zerfimon? The Zerfimon founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind. Nomitres. I was just checking if it read anything backwards. I don't think it does. It might have been like the name of the person who created the race or something originally. So let's talk about something else then. Speak your mind. I will hear you. You seem to place a special emphasis on knowing. What do you mean by that? All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And what if a man does not know himself? When a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. Dak'kon pauses. It is said that when a flawed man sees, his hands make... It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hands make broken. Do you know yourself? Dak'kon falls silent. His coal black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke. I'll ask that again. Do you know yourself? When Dak'kon speaks again, his voice has changed. His words echo like a great stone dropped into a chasm. It looks like he is forcing the words out of his chest. It is not my will that you know this. Very well. If I don't push it now, I might not get another chance. I think I don't want to push it. We've only just met. Let's talk about something else. Can you tell me about this city? It is known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself. What do you mean by that? The city exists, but it does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed. How is it flawed? The city exists in opposition to itself. It has set itself apart from the planes, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, yet it keeps those doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. In not knowing itself, it is flawed. This ever says that everyone means walls are doors. What if the city is not flawed? A thing does not need to be ordered to have purpose to know itself. What if these contradictions are strengths that you cannot see? What if the city is not flawed, and you just do not know the reasons for its contradictions? There is order in everything. Perhaps there is an underlying pattern you cannot perceive. Both of those are really nice answers, and I'm not sure which one I want to go with. You speak as if the city is alive. I want to choose one of these, right? This will make him question, and it'd be like, it's kind of like, this is like the chaos theory approach. It's like if a drop of water falls on the exact apex of a roof ridge, which way is it going to run? It could go one way, it could go the other. If it falls somewhat to either side, then it's a little more obvious which way it's going to go. Whereas this is saying, what if things don't need to know themselves? Or no, it's saying it doesn't need to have structure and purpose to know itself, right? It can be wild and chaotic and still know itself. Whereas this says, what if there is a pattern and a great scheme at work, like the Lady of Pain of Adabasis, but you just don't know what it is? So this is like saying it's not coordinated. I want to go with this, right? Because I think he would appreciate this a bit more, as he is focused on organization and order and making sense of things. So, what if the city is not flawed and you just don't know the reasons for its contradictions? There is order in everything. Perhaps there is an underlying pattern that you, I don't think, cannot perceive, but more have not perceived yet. To your question, a question. What if the city is flawed and you see its contradictions all around you? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, and answering questions with a question with another question, okay. To your question, a question. You claim this city's existence is flawed. You have accepted this rather than explore the possibility that something greater may exist. That suggests that you are flawed, and that you do not search for knowledge, but only for a convenient answer. Dak'kon falls silent. There is no knowing the answer to the questions we have asked. Yet the city exists. That is all. Yet I would maintain that we know ourselves by the questions we ask, and we know ourselves by the questions we ask and the ones we do not. If we cease asking questions and accept only what we can perceive, then we will cease to know ourselves. Dak'kon's voice has changed slightly, becoming heavier, and sounding ever so slightly like Ian Glenn there for a moment. Then we will cease to know ourselves, Khaleesi. Such words have been spoken before. I have heard them and know them. Where have you heard them? Because it sounds like I heard them as well. The words are mine. Once I knew them and knew their meaning. I had forgotten them until you spoke. Dak'kon's gaze travels through you, and his blade stops shimmering, bleeding of all colour until it is translucent. There is a moment of silence, then Dak'kon looks up at you. I would travel your path with you. I'll consider it. I have some other questions first. Yeah, just about 2 more questions. I appear to be missing a journal. I've lost it. It's gone. Do you know where it might be? The location of such a thing is not known to me. I have some other questions then. Well, just one more, really. Speak your questions. Speak your questions. I will hear them. Do you know of a man named Farod? I am told he knows something about me. He knows something. Again with the knowing. That one is not known to me. There is nothing more to be said. Farewell. As you turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. The first time you have heard his tone change since the conversation began. Well, that's not entirely true. We were told his voice lowered and deepened at one point. Hold. The man's voice levels out. This city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you. Right. I can accept straight away. I can question him, and he may appreciate the fact that I'm getting to know more about him. You are old. Of what use could you be to me? Dak'kon's gaze changes. It looks as if he is looking past you, just as he did when you first spoke to him. I am old, yet I have travelled far. The arts of war are known to me. The tides of this city are known to me. Nevertheless, where you stab in the dark, my blade strikes true. Doors locked to your hand are corridors to mine. In knowing these things through me, you will become strong. I would walk your path with you. Very well, I accept.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. That didn't seem to echo very much. Very well. Let's go. And we have a new party member! Endure. In enduring grows strong. Or, endure. In enduring grow strong, as he often says. He also pronounces his Karak blade as Krok. And says lovely things like, "There cannot be twin skies." And he is lawful neutral. Yeah, we are still true neutral for now. Mort is chaotic good. Hey, he's Mort, okay. He doesn't like being bossed around, doesn't like being told what to do, but he's fun. Now, Dak'kon here has Zerf armor. Basically a medium male armor. So remember, this is 2nd edition, so armor class is descending rather than ascending as it is from 3rd edition onwards. I remember back in 1st and 2nd edition I always wanted to house rule ascending armor class instead of descending, but I never got round to experimenting with it. And then 3rd edition eventually came out and I was like, oh, other people thought the same thing. Dak'kon's ceremonial Zerf armor. It is fashioned of interlocking metal rings, formed of the same substance that Dak'kon's blade is made of. Unlike the blade, however, it does not appear that the armour changes based on the mental state of the wielder. The armour is worn over a padded red tunic, and the spiked bracers and shoulder pads have been added to give greater protection to the arms and upper body. Well, they don't give that much protection. While Dak'kon's armour is similar to chainmail, it is lighter and more flexible, allowing him to wield his sword more effectively. Furthermore, it seems that when the sword and armour are used in tandem, the armour becomes even more fluid. Whether this is a unique property of the Karach, or whether it is some magical effect of the two items, is unknown. And the sword. Important to note, the sword does change as he levels, just like Varric's crossbow in Dragon Age 2. It's literally a leveled item. On the Githserai's home plane of Limbo, solid matter is something of a rarity. Limbo itself is a soupy mass of elements, and only through force of will can the Githzerai shape those elements into stable matter. A substance called Karach is a material that can be shaped with the mind. Dak'kon's blade is composed of this substance through mental discipline alone. Dak'kon maintains the integrity of the blade. He can shape it slightly depending on his skill, adjusting its length, sharpness of the edge. Presumably, as he gains levels, he may be able to manipulate the blade in other new ways. It is not known whether all Githzerai Zerf carry such weapons. Certainly a weapon that depends on the integrity of the wielder would be entrusted only to those who had learned to discipline themselves. This blade appears to have special religious significance to Dak'kon. Dak'kon has wound a series of parchments around the hilt of the blade. They appear to be the mantras dedicated to Zerfamon. Now, Dak'kon's philosophy does seem somewhat Eastern, and that's okay. Now we have the Whispering Flask. Okay, Aid is a 2nd level clerical spell. It gives d8 hit points and +1 to hit for a while, but also +2 strength, which is interesting. Usable only by Githzerai. Yeah, he's probably the only one we're going to meet in the entire game that we're going to get to use it, because he's got it, you know. This container holds a special, peculiar powder called Whispering Motes, loose translation of the Gith expression. A form of healing powder commonly used by the Githzerai on the plane of Limbo. When the stopper is pulled and the spice touched on the skin of a wounded person, the spice travels through the injured person's body, generating new matter to fill up the holes in his physical form, no matter how small or large. In order for the spice to work, the user must concentrate on its healing effects with the proper discipline. A practiced Githzerai can even heal the greatest of wounds. In addition to its curative properties, it is also the element in several of their rites of passage. It is believed that the spice also fills in the holes in a person's psyche, removing doubts and giving them focus and purpose. We will pop this up here so he can use it at a time of great importance. The unbroken circle of Zerfamon. Now this is something we probably don't want to mess with just yet, but we want to mess with it a lot, basically. Usable only by Dak'kon. This small round stone is the unbrown... Well, yes, it's kind of greenish, beigey, browny brown, so it's kind of unbrown. Is the unbroken circle of Zerfamon. The Unbroken Circle is a Zerf religious text containing teachings of Zerfamon, the founder of the Githzerai people. The circle is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another depending on which branch the reader wishes to follow in their path of teachings. It is said that some Zerfs spend years poring over the combinations of the plates looking for new significance in the teachings. Dak'kon seems to use the text as a means of focusing his spellcasting abilities, for he pores over the tablet, occasionally memorizing the words. It's literally his spellbook. Speaking of spellbooks, he actually has one. He has spells known and spells prepared. Are those slots? Hang on. Reign of Anger and Submerge the Will. He also has... No, those slots are not empty. Okay. So, Reign of Anger... It's literally Magic Missile. But wait! 3 to 6 points of damage instead of 2 to 5. So it's Magic Missile with an extra point of damage. And a much shorter range. Okay, interesting. Scripture of Steel. One of the earliest teachings of Zerfamon, this incantation reflects what knowing that flesh yields to steel achieves. Reflects what knowing that flesh yields to steel achieves, bestowing a greater advantage to strike and the strength to resist damage. Scripture of Steel grants +1 to hit and +1 to saving throws for all creatures that are friendly with... Oh, it's Bless, basically. It's a variation on Bless. But yeah, it's basically Bless. Or Prayer. It's 180-foot range. All creatures that are friendly within a 70-foot radius of a casting point. Okay, so we don't have to target self for that. And Vilquar's Eye. Vilquar's Eye is branded on the one who is foolish enough to cross the caster. Vilquar's short-sightedness becomes the target's vision, and soon the world is muddled and dark. If a creature fails its saving throw at a -1 penalty, the creature will be struck with blindness and suffer a -4 penalty on its attack rolls and a +4 penalty to the target's armor class. Remember, armor class is descending, not ascending, so that is a +4 penalty, not a bonus. And if we see he has... Oh! Power of 1. What level... So that would make him like a level 5 caster or something, wouldn't it? I know he's like a multi-class fighter magic user, but still. No, that would make him like a level 4 fighter, level 3 magic user, I think. So, a power of 1. And from Gif, the warrior queen, came the knowing of oneself, and from the knowing came immense power. This spell increases the target's strength score by a certain number of... Oh, it's a strength spell! And it's literally the amount they gain is based on their character class. Yeah. Okay. And then no level 3 spells, and for character sheet, fighter free, magic user free. Interesting. But that is like 10,000 net, so he has gained more experience than Mort, but less than us. He's going to be a fun character. More importantly at the moment, he's got a lot of space to carry some of his stuff, because we might be wanting to pick up some things. Give him only usable by thieves, so he can't use that, but he can carry it. Alright, and it would be nice to remember how to split items. I can't remember how to split items. Is it shift? No. Control. No, I can't remember. We'll pick up some more and give them to him, and then, you know, Mortem and nameless ones. We'll just keep these ones. Oh, hello, you can have that one for starters. Hey, nice. Actually, for them, I've put the important things to keep on the right and the temporary things on the left. If I do that here, as well, as a reminder, I mean, that gap won't be visible in-game. But hey, maybe it's something important. And look, another armor class 2 companion. The nameless one is the one likely to be taking a beating here. Let's look at it another way. We're on just over 3,000 to level. Mort won't level from that. He won't level from that. He will, because he's got 2 classes, he's splitting the experience equally between them. Strength 17 though. He is mental. 17, 16, 16, that's a lot of high ability scores. Again, we have the 2 16s here. Ability scores here, a little more of an even spread. But we're working on it. Now, what do we want to do next? You're very big and spiky and intimidating. We probably don't want to talk to you just yet. Oh, doesn't even have a name. Right. Don't want to change formation. Well, I would like to continue speaking to everyone here in the Burning Corpse Bar, but we have someone to go and rescue, do we not? Yes, Ingress. In the last episode, we spoke to Kandrian Ilborn, and he told us he believes he knows the portal where Ingress may find home. And we should go help her. And now that Dak'kon is in the party, he can benefit from the experience reward from the quest. Oh, hello. You lot want to fight us?
What's up?
Mort? Annoy him, will you?
Slattern.
Yeah. And that one.
Oh, you alley-bred dog.
So, as Infinity Engine games go, it's slightly weird that we have to target the feet. We can't target like higher up in the body. So we have to target the circles below the bases. And hey, Mort! We got company for you to annoy.
Slattern.
Yeah, you call him an easy lay. Actually, no, Slattern's more like lazy.
A perfectly good waste of arms and legs.
Couldn't agree more. Right. Nameless, bash that one.
Endure.
Dak'kon, that one.
Enduring grow strong.
And enduring grows strong. You can't pronounce endure.
You see that?
I hear your words.
Dak'kon, mess him up. I like how his black blade is basically green when he's fighting, even when we don't have him highlighted. Right.
I will hear you. Your will be done.
Let's play pick up stuff. It's an interesting little game. I'm sure you've done it before. You pick stuff up with your hand, and then it's in your hand. Mort, are you kind of sitting on...
What?
No. We'll move then.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
done.
That appears to be everything. Oh, he's very drunk. I'm not changing formation yet. When we get a 4th party member, I will consider changing formation. For now, though, I'm just meandering through the streets with my new party member, feeling happy, and he just threw an interesting pose there, like he's tense, obviously. Expecting trouble when he sees us. Interesting. Oh, another slag. Mort, get some new taunts, will ya? You see a tired-looking woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. The odour of cheap perfume surrounds her like a cloud, and her face is covered with a mask of crude makeup. She smiles as she sees you. Why don't you stay and chat with me for a bit, love? Oh god, I wish I'd done over an Australian accent. Why don't you stay and chat with me for a bit, love? Greetings. The woman looks coyly at you. Nah, you look to be a blood who's lost something. Mayhap I can find it. Help you find it, Cutter? She smiles slightly. Uh-oh? What good fortune! We probably lost it. We're looking for a bag of your kit, miss. Well, actually, I'm missing this journal. Eh? She seems confused. What are you talking about? Oh god, that's gone Irish. Forget Yeah, I'm not missing anything. Never mind, farewell. Ya lass! When you get tired of losing things and need to find some things, well, love, you come see me, alright? Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Oh, damn, I didn't get the opportunity for Mort to get new taunts. Interesting. I need to remember how to do that next time. But for now, let's meander up this way. And I should really head into the Gathering Dust Bar at some point. I seem to remember on, like, some old Torment fan sites on the internet, the Gathering Dust Bar was like the forum, you know. And we got the post here. I wanna, but not yet. There's a few other things I want to do first. Like, try and find where Ingress has got to. I know she's running scared. Maybe she'll finally have stood still now that I've spoke to her earlier? If so, she should be just up here-ish. And there she is. Not where... Oi! Don't run... Oi! Come back here, you crazy lady.
Just look natural. Casual.
Casual, Mort. You don't even have a body. I mean, you can't get much more casual than that. You see Ingress. She's huddled inside her cloak of dirty rags, her teeth chattering. She is glancing furtively about her, as if expecting to be attacked at any moment. Greetings, Ingress. Eh? Eh? You! She squints at you. What is it you want with me now? You wanna me to leave? Not leaving this city. I'm sure I'm not. I can't trade. It's not a city. It's a prison everywhere. Listen, Ingress, I found... Sorry, my throat's a bit dry. Listen, Ingress, I've found someone who can take you back to your home plane. Ingress falls silence. I want to go. Want to leave this place. His name is Kandrian, and he should be along shortly to help you. Just trust him, alright? Ingress says nothing, merely nods quietly, her teeth chattering inside her mouth. And remember, she has strangely animated teeth, so they can chatter even if she's not scared. I'll go back and meet Kandrian at the Smouldering Corpse Bar, and make sure everything turned out alright. Be strong, Ingress. Portals! Portals everywhere!
Updated my journal.
Updated my journal. It's the line that every Planescape Torment player knows. Updated my journal. However, I would like to remind us all that there is an exit leading this way. Let's take it, because it's easy to miss. Alright. So we have lots of people here. Hive dwellers, frightened hive dweller. Another filthy harlot. A man called Porphyron. You almost imagine it should be Porphyrion, but still. And Molt. Molt! A collector.
Done.
Oh, hell, and a devil coming through with human accompaniment. Let's take it easy. Every inch of this man's skin is covered in a web of black lines. It's as if some artist chose to accentuate every crease in his flesh with a quill pen. The overall effect is that when his face shows no expression, he appears to be frowning. Greetings. This one has a name. This one's name is called Porphyron. Reminds me a bit actually of Gulliver Foyle from Tiger, with the markings on his face. The man's voice is like a gong. As he speaks, the lines of his face bend and settle into a series of spherical patterns. This one would know. Why do you address this one? This one would know. Why do you address this one? I wanted to ask you some questions about the city. This one would have you know, this one cannot answer your questions. The lines on his face twist into angles, then split into a maze of scribbles. This one has only recently stepped foot in this place of walls. Alright, then. Well, I have to ask you this. Why do those lines on your face move? The lines show anger. Do not take offense. The lines slowly straighten, forming into gentle curves. No offense was meant. Will you accept the many apologies of this one? The way he refers to himself as this one, Dak'kon did that a few times, so I wonder if they share a belief system. Perhaps he has the dark matter of the blade infused into his skin. No offense taken. Why are you angry? This one tells of event recent. Did you know this one was beset by three? The men demanded an item from this one. This one feared an attack. What does this one do? This one surrendered the item. Well, you were right to be afraid. If they were free, then they might have killed you had you not given up the item. This one has been misunderstood. The lines on his face become angled, then smooth into curves again. This one did not fear being killed. This one feared killing the free. Well, if you could have killed them, why did you let them rob you? This one walks the path of a warrior. Many weapons have walked with this one. The fist, the blade, the stave, the hatchet, the smiter. These tools are all known to this one. Ah! A weapon master. Someone who could teach me to make use of my weapon proficiencies. That's not much of an explanation. Again, if you are a warrior with that much training, why did you let them rob you? This one is forbidden to attack. The lines ripple across his face as he speaks. If this one had struck at the free in anger, the vow of non-violence would be unmade. A vow of non-violence? You're a warrior and a pacifist? This one is unfamiliar with your speech. What is this pacifist? Well, it's like a fist that just stays there and you bash yourself against it. It's passive, it doesn't move. Never mind. Why would you train so much if you're not permitted to attack another? This one is of the order of ad&d. We await the final days where all will be called to battle. The training and skills of this one. They are to be kept silent until then. In the meantime, you will let yourself be robbed in the street without defending yourself? This one will clarify. The item is of value. The discipline of the ad&d is of greater value. Well, since you won't fight, any chance you could talk these thieves into returning your item? This one addresses the free thieves. What happens? The requests of this one are met with scorn. The free will not return the item. I could go and see if I can get the item back for you. This one must ask, will you bring violence to the free that have robbed this one? Well, if they aren't smart to hand it over when I ask, things could get ugly. The lines on the man's face form into a series of overlapping ellipses. If that is the message they understand, then that is how the message must be conveyed. Well, alright then. What is this item you've lost? The item is this. A rope of black and red prayer beads worn around the neck. The worth of these beads is not measured in copper. The worth of these beads is measured in faith. Very well. I'll see if I can go and find this necklace. Do you know where these 3 thugs might be? This one knows where the angry words are traded. This one knows where the angry words were traded and the item lost, by a bar that burns inside. The 3 were outside the place, dressed in black and red. 3 robbers dressed in red and black outside the Smouldering Corpse bar? I'll go and find them then. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Now, there's this fellow up here called Fleece. I'd like to talk to him at some point, but this is the NPC I discovered, and I was like, oh, I didn't have the stats to do something I did with him previously in older playthroughs. So, this play's going to be a bit different. Essentially, I think I needed like a bit more wisdom, and I was able to do this before reaching fighter level 4. I was able to do this all at fighter level 3. Now I've been unable to do that. I've progressed level 4 fighter, but that's okay. So as I said, bit of a different playthrough. It does essentially mean that 1 class training will be cut off to me for a while. But hey, I still get to go this way and head on back to the Smouldering Corpse bar, where I can talk to the thieves outside, try and recover the prayer beads, go inside, speak to Candry and Ilborn, come back, talk to Porphyron, and probably end the session there, to be honest. But look, I'm making progress, I'm doing things, and that's one of the things I love about this game, right? There's just so many different things we can do and explore and find out. Oh, and Anna's music is playing, lovely. She's not a very lovely person, but she has quite nice music. I want to hear Dak'kon's music again, that was nice.
I'm gone.
Alright. Now you 3, you better give me... See, 3 men dressed in black and red. You better give me what I ask for, or Mort's going to insult you. And he's going to insult you hard. This heavyset thug is swathed in rags, dyed red and black. He looks like he is made almost purely of muscle. He glowers at you as you approach. Hello there. And how can I help you then, governor? This man's face breaks into a sneer. Looks to me you need a healer. Are you one of the ones who robbed a monk in the hive? Took his prayer bead necklace? Some sod with lines scrawled all over his face. Claimed he could have put us all in the dead book, yet let us rob him blind. The man gives a slow, toothless smile. Never even heard of such a sod, I haven't. The rest of his order is looking for you. The brothers of Aggie seem to know. I'm not going to buy it. Maybe you better give me this necklace back before I put all of you in the dead book. I'll be watching where you be letting those words fly, governor. You let another one slip your tongue, and I'll give you a second smile, jig. Oh, if you think you can take me, then come on, have a go if you think you're hard enough. Mort! Insult him! Insult him now!
Balance in all things.
Dak'kon! Use that sword. I know he's got spells, but I also know they are limited. And I don't want to waste them.
Sod. What's the word, Chief?
Hey Mort, can you get over there?
Good is done.
And then yell at this one. Not that. No, this one.
Oh, you alley-bred dog. What's up?
Get him, Mort. Get him with your voice.
Even 50 swigs of brandy wouldn't make you look
Alright,
good.
don't get him. Nameless. Get him. Dak'kon. Him. Hey, it's the music from Swede again. Except it isn't.
Endure, your path is mine.
Alright. A knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Not usable by priests. He's not a priest. Oh, but Dak'kon is mysteriously incapable of using any weapon apart from his Zerf blade. Yeah, I forgot that. But he gets this another clock charm. Hey, nice. Another knife, some commons, and can we have it? So, prayer beads, another dirty rat charm, you dirty rat, a battle axe, and some copper commons. Nothing very magical. Did we have another dirty rat charm? Was it Mort who had it? No, it wasn't. Okay. Usable only by fees. That's fine. That's fine. Alright. Well, we're due for a meeting with Kandrian Ilborn.
I'm gone.
And there's no need to go back and forth too many times. If we can multitask, you know. Uh-oh. Steer clear, that went a bit close there and they might get violent. Oh, they did!
Yeah.
Mort, did you look at one of them funny?
I hear your words.
You dog's body.
I will hear you.
Huh?
Okay, to what the next one?
You know, if I gotta slam my eyeballs against you one more second, I'm gonna puke.
He does come up with some inventive ones, doesn't he?
Leatherhead.
It's okay, nameless one heals.
Die.
Sheer unknown stabs pain into my eyes. You see that?
Balance in your path is mine.
Another dagger. And we can sell these to that merchant in the marketplace. Dirty rat charm. We'll give that to the nameless. Because he can... 5 of them! Flippin' heck. So prayer beads. This is a necklace of red and black prayer beads. A web of black lines swirls around the edges of the prayer beads as you hold them, moving in some strange pattern you cannot decipher. Well, you know what? We will give this to him. Because I've remembered. It's a battle axe. Nice. I've remembered that. Give the mortuary key to Mort, because it's got Mort in the name. I don't want to make the same mistake as the last session. I want to make sure I've always got room to be given an item in conversation.
Step right up, come see the burning man. Try to put him out, buy him a drink. He's thirsty. He's on fire.
Done.
He's a red hot. Come on in. Come on in. See what I mean?
Alright. And we form up strangely. Kandrian stands as you approach him. Remember, he's exhausted, he's been drained from going to the negative material plane, hence why he's not even really here at the moment. The Tooth Woman wanted you to have these, he says, holding out his hand. She wanted to express her thanks, even out of the balance book, as it were, and be done with damned things, with the damned things. In the palm of his hand are Ingress's dancing teeth, and he smoothly deposits them into your hand. Enjoy them, Seeker. Thank you. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Ah! That... I've misclicked. So... we have Ingress's teeth. Usable by Mort. Damage 1 to 6 crushing. This is a handful of Ingress's living teeth. Apparently they didn't want to go with her back through the portal to her home plane. They rattle amongst themselves whenever they are held close together. They remind you of a bunch of creepy ivory hopping bugs. To change the teeth to a different type, select Use. The teeth may gain new options and abilities as Mort goes up in levels. So now, Mort has
Hey, come on.
leveled teeth.
Hey. Hey.
I know. Tooth equipped. I like how we have different colour backgrounds. I wonder if they are alignment based or character based. I think they're character based, to be honest. But hey, yeah, we're doing alright for experience there. We're nearing fighter level 5. Mort's still got a way to go. As has Dak'kon. Let's head back to the monk and get our warrior training in, right? As I said we would. And there's... uh-oh.
Done.
Oh, come on, seriously? Alright. I don't know whether they're all clustering here at the point where he was targeting. That's a little bit weird, right?
Filthy sod.
Hey, you. Get back here.
It is
You?
I.
Okay. Rain of Anger. Take him down. Alright, yeah, that works.
The rock sings true.
And that's kind of why I didn't want to waste
Your path is mine.
his spells just yet, because they are potent. And really, nothing here to... There we go. Lovely. Alright, you lot.
Done.
Come in, buy a drink, see the burning man. He's on
Burning
fire.
Man.
You've got to see it to believe it. The burning man, right here, right inside.
I'm checking if we could get into that crate now the thugs have been moved away from it. Well, they haven't been moved. Someone's dragged their corpses back to the mortuary. I think our healing rate is based on our constitution, so we might want to look into upgrading that.
Done.
So Ingress has finally gone back to her home. And we should be proud, right? We done a good job. We helped her out. We're not going to help her out. She's helping herself. Actually, she's just kind of standing there being antagonistic at the moment. Not the most helpful person. She sent us into an ambush, remember? Yeah. Nasty. Nasty bird.
Done.
You see Porphyron. He is standing grimly on the street, paying no heed to the passers-by. The web of lines on his face has staggered into a series of right angles. This one addresses you, Porphyron. As you speak, the angles in Porphyron's face relax into a series of strange curves. This one would ask, "Do you have the neck rope of beads that was stolen?" I think so. Is this it?
Updated my journal.
This one sees what you hold. Those are the beads once missing. He takes them from you. You notice his hands have the same tracery of lines upon them as his face. This one has a question. How did you get the beads from the free? Well... If I buy it, he might not respect that too much. I slew them and took the beads. This one is content. The message of violence has been conveyed. This one bestows several welcome thanks. Yes? The pleasure was mine. The pleasure of returning, not the pleasure of fighting. I have a question for you, though. If you cannot enter combat, how did you get your warrior training? This one clarifies. The ad&d may train with one when there is no anger between them. I see. Could you teach me how to use weapons? Now this guy, if I am a different character class, can actually also train me to turn back into a fighter. I can also train for fighter with Dak'kon after I've trained back to fighter with this bloke at least once. This one could instruct you, yes, but this one warns you. With knowledge of violence comes temptation to use it. Oh, I surely hope so. This one speaks. Is it your will to leave behind your previous profession? The path of the warrior cannot be walked with an unfocused mind. I have no profession other than fighting at this moment. I would walk the path of the warrior. This one will instruct. The lines on his face fold into triangles. These things comprise the angles of your training. Focus, experience, proficiency. I don't understand. Can you explain?
Updated my journal.
This one will speak of focus first. For teaching to take root, you must have focus. You must be committed to the path of the warrior. The warrior is your profession, no other. Understood. I can only be the fighter class if I want to learn about weapons. What is the next angle of training?
Updated my journal.
This one will speak of experience second. True knowledge of combat comes only with experience. There is limit to how much weapon instruction one may absorb. When you reach new level in Art of Warrior, it may be you are ready for new instructions. Understood. There is a limit to how much I can learn at first, but this limit may increase when I reach a new level. What is the next angle of training? This one will speak of proficiency third. There is only so much that this one can teach. Knowledge of the weapon comes at 3 levels: the ignorant, the proficient, and the specialized. There are levels between each of these in which the student has surpassed previous learning, but has not yet truly reached the plateau of the next skill. And what are these levels? This level of the ignorant is this: when one does not know the weapon they use, the attack is clumsy, the damage much less than its potential. Well, that sounds like when I woke up on the mortuary slab. Go on, what is the level of the proficient? The level of the proficient is this: when one has learned a weapon, he is said to be proficient in its use. His attacks are no longer clumsy. They come swiftly and surely. And the level of the specialist?
Updated my journal.
The level of the specialist is this: when one goes beyond proficiency, he becomes specialized in the use of the weapon. The weapon is no longer a tool, but an extension of will. All right, I understand. Can you teach me of weapons? This one is trained in the hand, the blade, the stave, the hatchet, and the smiter. Of which would you know? I think we already have daggers and fist weapons. I want to know about clubs, because I've got quite a few of them. One who would use the club. Its speed is not that of the fist or dagger, for its damage is greater. It crushes the body of an opponent like a falling rock. Do you wish to use a portion of your talent to attain the level of proficient in this weapon? Yes, I wish to learn to use this weapon.
Updated my journal.
This one will instruct you. First, stand like so. Yes. This one compliments you. The knowledge comes to you swiftly. You take instruction well. Thank you. That's all I wish to learn today. Because I want to check what I've already got. And, right, fist, edge weapon, club, and 2 more. I would like to learn about, let's grab axes and hammers.
Updated my journal.
The conversation is virtually the same. One who would use an axe. Its speed is not that of a club, but its damage is greater. It slashes like a great claw to the body of an opponent. Do you wish to use a portion of your talent to attain the level of the proficient in this weapon? And then I'd also like to learn about hammers. One who would use the hammer. Its speed is not that of the club, but its damage is greater. The damage is like the falling of a great rock crushing the body of an opponent. And we will learn how to use them as well.
Updated my journal.
And then we will say thank you and goodbye. Right. That gets us all the basic weapon proficiencies. Meaning we no longer have like a -2 penalty to hit with a crowbar, for example. Alright. I think we've done fairly decently. How's... Okay, yeah, it's quite a way yet for fighter level 4 for Dak'kon. I think that's a good place to leave it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I will certainly look forward to seeing you all in the next one. I'll say bye-bye for now, and cheerio!